This is Jarrod Horak. Welcome to my latest Road to the 2023 Kentucky Oaks video. And in this series so far, through 14 races, my top choices have 7 wins. And last week I got home Feza in the Las Virgenes Stakes at Santa Anita Park. This week I'm going to do the Forward Gal Stakes at Gulfstream Park. And in this Kentucky Oaks points race, 20 points for the win, 8 for second, 6 for third, 4 for finishing fourth, and 2 for finishing fifth. Now let's get into the analysis of this race. And it's going to be the 10th race at Gulfstream Park, Saturday, February 4th, 2023. This is the Grade 3, $125,000 Forward Gal Stakes. 3-year-old fillies, 7 furlongs on the main track. And the scheduled post time is 4:17 p.m. Eastern Time. Flakes will break from the inside post as a 20-1 long shot. This is a daughter of Frosted, and she won her debut nicely from the inside post at Gulfstream at 6 furlongs. That was on December 30th. She stalked the pace. She took the lead in the stretch. She kicked clear by 3 lengths. The show finisher was a next out winner. She didn't run particularly fast. She's going to have to improve. She's got plenty of upside, obviously, in just her second career start here. Her trainer doesn't have great stats in the graded stakes ranks, and we'll see if she can get involved again from the inside post, going a furlong further against better company. Twice as Sweet is a daughter of Candy Ride, and she's number 2 at 10-1 morning line. This Godolphin filly has run 5 times with 2 wins and 2 second-place finishes. She broke her maiden in a turf sprint at Ellis Park second time out, and then she won the Smart Halo Stakes on a wet track at Laurel Park in November, and then last time she was in a stakes race at 6 furlongs at Fairgrounds, and she finished 4th in an 8-horse field, an even effort there. Now she's going to stretch out in distance from 6 furlongs to 7 furlongs. This is her longest start so far. And she's versatile. In her career debut, she went to the front. She stalked and scored in her maiden win, and she rallied from 7th last time. So they can kind of place her anywhere they want, depending on the pace scenario. Number 3, Atomically. This one is a Todd Pletcher trainee, and she is probably going to be the favorite in here. She's 3-1 morning line. Jose Ortiz is going to ride her for the first time. In her career debut, she finished 3rd, but then she really looked good in her second 2 starts. 7 furlongs, Gulfstream Park last September. She set the pace. She rolled home by 7 lengths. And then she was in the Florida Sire Series, the My Dear Girl Stakes. And in that race, she just sat back from post 9 in a 10-horse field. She was racing wide. She just took over early, and she rolled home by more than 6 lengths. Lynx was second there, and she's running in here. And she was well clear of the rest that day. And then the show finisher was a next out winner. And then the Breeders' Cup Juvenile filly, she moved to the Todd Pletcher barn. She chased Lively Fractions. She was sitting 5th in a 13-horse field. She worked her way up to 4th in the stretch, but she couldn't keep it going, and she weakened to finish 7th, beaten a little less than 7 lengths. So now cutting back in distance and getting back to her favorite venue, I could see her running a very good race in here. Number 4, Arella Star. This one, she's run 5 times with a couple wins, and both of those wins were at Gulfstream Park. It was a maiden win at 5.5 furlongs last July. She stalked from 3rd. She won nicely. And then her other local win was in the slop at 6 furlongs in November. She wired the field. Last time out in the Cash Run Stakes, she was 4th, beaten 8 lengths. Her only other stake start, the Del Mar Debutante at Del Mar over the summer last year, she was 64-1, and she ran last, and a distant last at that. So I think she's up against it in this stakes race, but she should impact the pace. Apropos is number 5, and she looked good in her maiden win, and she ran well in her debut as well. Her debut was at Delaware Park, 6 furlongs on a fast track from the inside post, battled on the pace, missed by a neck. She was clearly second best. She came back at Gulfstream Park. She caught a wet track, didn't bother her at all. She sat in mid-pack, and she got the lead in the stretch, and she pulled well clear to win by 4 lengths. So she still has a lot of upside in here. We'll have to see where she fits as she faces winners for the first time. The runner-up for from her last race was a next out winner. Number 6, Lynx. She's run 5 times with 3 wins, a second and a third, and she could be one that could be somewhere in the mix because she's so consistent. She won her debut at Gulfstream Park at 5 furlongs, stretched out to 6 furlongs second time out. In that debut, she was 3rd by a length early, and then she won nicely. And then in her second start, she broke 8th in a 9-horse field, and she rallied from 6th place to win nicely there by a length and a quarter. And then she won again in the Florida Sire Series at 7 furlongs. In her next start, she stalked the pace in mid-pack, and she pulled clear to win by almost 5 lengths. She was the favorite in that My Dear Girl Stakes. I mentioned Atomically defeated her there, and she defeated her by almost 7 lengths. but she was well clear of the show finisher. And as I said, that show finisher was a next out winner. Then she returned in the cash run stakes on January 1st of this year at 1 mile, and she finished third, beaten 2 lengths. So now, and she rallied from 7th place that day in an 8-horse field. So now cutting back in distance, I think it's going to help her because she won her 3 shortest races at 5, 6, and 7 furlongs. And then she hit the board while losing her last 2 at a mile and a 16th and a 1-turn mile. Second start off the layoff, cutting back. Joao Rosario got to know her last time. I think she can be in the mix in here at a little bit of a price. Undervalued asset, could be undervalued in here for trainer Chad Brown. She's probably going to take a lot of money because she took a bundle of money in her career debut at Aqueduct at 6 furlongs. That was in November, and she dominated that race. It was only she only met 4 horses there. She was on the outside post. She pressed wide. She took over, and she just blitzed that field in the stretch. And she won by more than 8 lengths. She was eased up at the end. They paid $150,000 for her. Obviously, she was highly regarded in her debut because she took all that money. And she's one that I think she could certainly be this good. We're going to find out how good she is in this spot. Jarrod Ortiz Jr. rode her in her debut, and he will ride back. Number 8, Red Carpet Ready. This one is 4-1 morning line, and she won both of her starts last year. She blitzed her rivals, geared down, wire to wire. That was on a wet track at Churchill Downs last October. And then her second start in the Fern Creek Stakes, she pressed from second on a fast track, and she took over, and she won nicely there. The runner-up was a next out winner. She hasn't run since then. She's got early pressing speed. She's got an outer post, and she's running in Florida for the first time after those first 2 starts at Churchill Downs. And Luis Saez should have her up on the pace. Positano Sunset for trainer Ian Wilkes is 9-2 morning line, and Julian Leparoux will ride, and he was aboard for her first 3 starts. Her career debut, she dueled on the lead. She finished 4th there. Pretty Mischievous defeated her, and Pretty Mischievous won the Untappable Stakes of Kentucky Oaks Points race late last year. Her second career start, she hooked Julia Shining, and she rallied from 7th in a 12-horse field to finish a clear second. Julia Shining came out of that race, and she won the Grade 2 Demoiselle Stakes at Aqueduct. And this filly, for Ian Wilkes, came back and broke her maiden from post 9 in a 9-horse field as the favorite on November 18th at Churchill Downs at 6.5 furlongs, and she stalked from 3rd, and she won nicely. So I like that versatility. She dueled on the lead in her debut. She rallied from 7th place in her second start, and she stalked the pace from 3rd in her last start. In outer post, versatile running style, improving speed figures, she's a contender in here. Adeliese's Smile is next. This one is a daughter of Uncle Mo. She's run 4 times with a win and a 3rd place finish, and her maiden win was last time when she put Lasix on, and that was in a 1-turn mile at Gulfstream on January 5th. And she stalked the pace from 4th, and she took over, and she won nicely by a length. But she didn't run fast enough to threaten these. But I will say that in her 4 races, she improved her speed ratings in all 4 starts. If she improves again, she could be somewhere for underneath. But she's really going to have to run faster to compete with this group. So overall, looking at this race, we have a good 10-horse field. And one of the ways that I want to play this race is I want to key a horse underneath in the trifecta. But my top choice is going to be Positano Sunset. I like that outside post. I like that she faced 2 very good fillies, Pretty Mischievous and Julia Shining, and she ran okay against both of those. And then she broke her maiden last time. I like that she improved her speed ratings in all 3 starts. I like her running style versatility. I like the outer post. And she could work out a good trip in here. And I like the price at 9-2. She could offer a bit of value. So Positano's Sunset will be my top choice in the Grade 3 Forward Gal. So and I'll put the wagers up now. And I'll make a win wager on number 9, Positano Sunset. I'll play an exacta with the 7 and 9 on top. That's Undervalued asset for Chad Brown and Positano Sunset. And then I'll add the 6. Lynx in second, and she's the horse that I'm going to key in 3rd in the trifecta, and my trifecta is 3-7-8-9 with 3-7-8-9 with number 6 Lynx keyed in 3rd. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this content. This is my first of 4 videos this week. I'll be back and I'll be taking a look at 3 Kentucky Derby points races on the road to the Derby. So stay tuned to those on my YouTube channel this week, and until I see you again, good luck at the races.